Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump has claimed that the United States destroyed military targets on Iran's main oil hub of Kharg Island, threatening to strike its oil infrastructure if Iran continues attacks that have halted most ship traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. In a social media post, Trump wrote that the US military totally obliterated every military target on Kharg while leaving oil infrastructure intact. He wrote that should Iran or anyone else do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, he would immediately reconsider this decision. Meanwhile, a missile has struck a helipad inside the US Embassy compound in Baghdad. Footage shows a column of smoke rising over the embassy compound. There was no immediate comment from the US Embassy in Baghdad. On Friday, the embassy renewed its Level 4 security alert for Iraq, warning that Iran and Iran-aligned militia groups have previously carried out attacks against US citizens, interests and infrastructure, and may continue to target them. The US State Department has offered up to $10 million for information on Iran's new Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei and several senior officials linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. A banner from the State Department's Rewards for Justice program lists figures including Ali Asghar Hejazi and former Iranian official Ali Larijani. Other names include Senior Military Advisor Yahya Rahim Safavi, Interior Minister Eskandar Momeni, and Intelligence Minister Esmail Khatib.
US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has said that Iran's new Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei has been wounded and is likely disfigured. Hegseth told reporters that Iran's leadership is now hiding after intense US strikes. To a question, he said there is no clear evidence that Iran has mined the Strait of Hormuz and that the waterway remains open for shipping. However, he said Iran has been firing at vessels trying to pass through the strait. The Pentagon chief also said that US forces are continuing operations aimed at destroying Iran's missile, drone, and naval capabilities. Thousands of people rallied in Tehran and Mashhad to mark Al-Quds Day as the war with the United States and Israel enters its second week. Demonstrators waved Iranian flags and carried photos of former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Al-Quds Day is held each year during Ramadan to show support for Palestinians and opposition to Israel. Meanwhile, Israel says its air force struck more than 200 targets across western and central Iran, including attacks near a Quds rally, the latest wave of airstrikes in a nearly two-week war that has killed around 2,000 people. Meanwhile, President Trump said he believes Russian President Vladimir Putin may be helping Iran a little bit. Speaking in a Fox News radio interview, Trump suggested Moscow might be offering limited support to Tehran. He added that Putin likely believes the United States is similarly helping Ukraine. In the same interview, Trump said the United States would escort vessels through the Strait of Hormuz if needed, vowing to strike Iran very hard over the next week. South Korea and Japan have claimed that North Korea fired a projectile towards the sea, with Tokyo saying it may have been a ballistic missile, while the US and South Korea conducted military drills. The South Korean military said in a brief message to reporters that the projectile was fired toward the sea off North Korea's east coast. Japan's Coast Guard said the projectile appeared to have fallen into the sea. Japan's public broadcaster, NHK, reported that it appeared to have fallen outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. Pakistani security forces intercepted and brought down 2 rudimentary drones near Rawalpindi using electronic countermeasures. Security sources say the drones were downed at separate locations and no damage or casualties were reported. However, airspace around the capital was briefly disrupted as a precaution. The Pakistan Airports Authority later said flight operations at Islamabad International Airport are continuing normally, and reports of a full airspace closure were baseless. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.